A little bit over a year ago, I've made the decision for myself to stop drinking alcohol. Now, I don't mean some insignificant sips here and there for my birthday or some other celebration. I have literally not had alcohol for over a year now, and I have never felt better in my entire life. Of course, I would love to encourage you to do the same, but I know it's a difficult topic, so I want to go over a couple of things. Now, first things first, the reason I have not had alcohol in so long is not because I'm under 21 and living in the States. I've been offered a drink here in the US just as often as I have been in Europe, where the legal drinking age is much lower. Which is also how and why I've had a fair share of experiences with alcohol before making the decision for myself to quit drinking. Now, I know we currently live in a world where going out and almost excessively drinking, taking drugs is part of being young. And even during the time of my life back in Europe, where I used to quite frequently participate in a lot of these things, I've always had a problematic perception of that lifestyle. Especially with alcohol, I was always aware of how extremely temporary the pleasure is. And what someone told me, what has stuck with me and what has always bothered me ever since I heard it was that alcohol is the only drug that when you don't consume it, people think something is wrong with you. And you can't really argue that because alcohol is a drug, and yes, it might be a socially accepted drug, but what a drug does is it makes you feel good, or it gives you confidence, or it makes you feel a certain way in a moment or a time where you shouldn't feel as good or as happy, if that makes sense. Now, I'm not telling anyone don't be happy, don't do what makes you feel good. If you think that's what I'm saying, you're missing my point. Now, I know a lot of people also consume alcohol to feel more comfortable in social situations. Can't relate, I never needed that, but no judgment when it comes to me, especially in social situations. I like to stay sharp, I like to be aware of what's going on, I like to be aware of what I'm saying for my own protection and my own benefit. But again, this is a very personal thing because I know most people enjoy consuming alcohol, especially quite regularly. And I'm not hating on people who drink alcohol. You live your life, I live my life. Now, the reason I used to give in to alcohol almost every Friday and Saturday night with my friends was because, I had thought to myself, just like everyone else, you only live once. Trust me, I've had my blackouts, I've had my nights on the bathroom floor, I've had my dancing club situations, I don't remember what happened last night moments, and I'm grateful for them, but I don't need any more of those because the regret was always bigger than the temporary joy. And already before I moved from Europe to LA last year, I cut down on my alcohol consumptions at social events a lot. Because I grew up, I started having serious priorities, and I was genuinely working on myself. And it was so interesting to observe people's reactions because I got side-eyed a lot. I got labeled as boring, as a party pooper, the usual peer pressure things. But I don't let myself be peer pressured, so who cares? I didn't care back then, I don't care now. And I know already for this video, people are gonna talk. I'm not enjoying my youth, I'm a party pooper. I'm boring, I'm making no fun experiences. And the fact that I'm so confident that this is true is just shocking because it's such an interesting reflection of the world we live in. People think you can only have fun and enjoy certain social interactions, social events, if you consume alcohol. I mean, that is such a red flag. It's like the world is peer pressuring me into drinking. Besides that, alcohol is literally something that does nothing but harm you. It is poison almost. I mean, do some research yourself, but alcohol is bad for your health, for your physical performance, for your emotional state, for your mental capacity, and don't even get me started on what it does to the aging process. You'll see. And I know that there are certain studies that claim a certain amount of red wine or whatever alcohol is beneficial, but whatever you need to tell yourself, alcohol is bad for your body. But anyways, it's been over a year now since I've had my last drop of alcohol, and I have never felt better in my life. Besides that, I didn't like the taste of it in the first place. Now, I'm not saying I will never ever have a sip of alcohol again in my life. It's not a non-negotiable boundary, and I don't like to live my life in a box. But right now, within the chapter of my life that I'm currently writing, there's just no space for alcohol or any other kind of distraction. I work out regularly, so since I've quit alcohol, of course my physical performance and physical health has definitely improved. My emotional and mental state is just more balanced, and I really feel like I am in control. If you imagine a filter somewhere in my body that all the emotions I feel go through, it feels like that filter has been cleaned. It feels like everything makes much more sense, and I perceive everything with way more clarity. Nothing feels exaggerated or over dramatic. It just really feels like everything is flowing and straightened out. I also feel a greater sense of accomplishment, but maybe that's just because I'm getting a lot of stuff done. But funny enough, my general perception of life has changed a lot. I feel a greater sense of purpose, and like I already said, there's more mental clarity. My overall quality of life has just improved. Now, I don't want to make any of this sound too spiritual, so I am aware that not all of this might be because I quit drinking, but I've read through a lot of things, and I noticed that a lot of people have recorded similar improvements because they stopped drinking. So there must be some sort of connection. Of course, the way I perceive my own life and how that changes could also be in relation to me growing up and everything that's going on in my life and how blessed and grateful I am for all of that. So of course, everything has multiple reasons, and I do think that has something to do with minimizing that fake dopamine boost you get from alcohol or any other kind of drug. Because like I said earlier, what it does is it makes you feel good or confident or happy when you actually wouldn't feel that emotion as intensely. From a distance, now that I don't drink alcohol anymore, this is just a different way of compartmentalization or taking the easy route. Because what does compartmentalization do? You have a problem in front of you or something that bothers you. You say, this sucks. Let's look at it later. You just stuff it away and one day just comes pouring out. You know, what does alcohol do? You're in a social situation, you don't feel confident enough or good enough to talk to anyone. What do? You take a couple of shots and then all of a sudden you're good enough. The more effective and natural thing would be to try and work on yourself to feel as confident and as happy within any given situation. So you don't need alcohol anymore. And I've always been naturally confident, but my sobriety has definitely done wonders for my character development as well, just because it keeps pushing me out of my comfort zone and it forces me to continuously work on myself, just like we all should. Now, when I go somewhere, I don't want water to be the only thing I'm having. I mean, I love water. I drink water more than anything, but I've really developed a passion for good green juices, good vegetable juices. So good. I swear, I always say to everyone, I might not drink, but if you put me in a bar, I will try every single vegetable juice you have. I know they're overpriced, but so is the alcohol, and at the end of the day, and even if I try every single juice a place has to offer, my bill will probably still be half as high as yours if you continuously order cocktails. So, like I said, it's literally been over a year since I've had a drop of alcohol, and I haven't missed it a single day, and I've noticed some real improvement for my mental and physical health. Of course, if you think you can, I would highly encourage you to do the same. Not for a whole year. I'm aware of how much people love consuming alcohol, but do like a sober month. I think there's sober February, January, something like that. You know, do like a sober month or two and see if you notice any difference. And if you do, I'm sure that will be motivation enough to keep going. At the end of the day, I'm not judging you if you have a shot or two. If you want to have a good time, I'm the guy to call. I encourage people to have fun and safely do or consume whatever they need to experience that. Because yes, life is short, but I feel very blessed that I'm in a place where I don't feel the need to consume any chemical or I don't know what it's called, plant-based substances to make myself feel more comfortable. But at the end of the day, in between all the baking videos and reviews and whatever I'm posting on here every week, the purpose of this channel is to give you guys, whoever cares, and myself, an opportunity to look back and watch me grow and become the best possible version of myself. And this is definitely part of it. Thank you guys so much. See you soon and take care. Bye.